the last demo you watched, we learned how to do 2-point perspective squares. This time I'm going to show you how to use the rules of perspective to create a three-dimensional looking chessboard. Alright, so I have my paper. The first thing that we need to do is have a horizon line, and again that's the imaginary line where the earth meets the sky. When I'm doing a chessboard, I do like to have that pretty high on the paper, that way I have a lot of room to work with my chessboard. I am then going to add 2 vanishing points on the horizon line, and again I've put them far out onto the horizon line. I have not put them really close together because this gives me more room to work. I'm then going to decide where I want my chessboard to end up here. And I kind of like things for the chessboard at least to be more centered. So this is a 12-inch paper, so I'm going to draw a circle right at half of that, 6 inches. And then I'm going to connect the dots for this. So I'm going to take this point, line it up with the right vanishing point, and draw a line. I'm going to go this way with the left vanishing point and draw my line. Alright, then we need to decide how thick we want the side of our chessboard, and that is completely up to you if you want it thin or thick. And you're going to draw a straight line down. Okay, and then the bottom of that line I'm going to line up with the vanishing point as well. So this point goes to the right vanishing point, and then the bottom of that goes to the left vanishing point. Alright, and this is the side of our chessboard. Our actual chessboard is going to be in this section. So now we need to work on the actual squares of the chessboard. I typically use a ruler that has numbers that I can see on there, and I will line it up so that it's at the corner and put a dot at every 1 inch, just because I like my squares to be even. And I went to 5 inches on that side. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm lining it up with the corner, and I'm going to put a dot at every 1 inch there. And I'm going to go to 5 on this one as well. Alright, so everything on this side is going to connect to the left vanishing point, and everything on this side is going to connect to the right vanishing point. So I'm going to line up those dots that I just made with my vanishing point, and I'm going to draw my line. Okay, I'm going to also do the same thing on the other side. Line up this point to the right vanishing point, and I'm going to draw my line. Continuing doing that down the whole side of the chessboard. And after you have that, the way to make this look like it is the bottom half, these lines need to be straight up and down. They can't be tilted, they need to be straight vertical. If they're tilted, it will look out of proportion. So Just make sure they are straight up and down. All right, and then you can see that we're stopping the chessboard here. So what I'm going to do is erase everything from that point on. So I'm going to erase all these lines back here because we don't need those anymore. Those were just how to make sure that our squares were following the rules of perspective, making this look three-dimensional. So again, I'm erasing all the lines behind where I wanted to stop the chessboard. Okay, then you should have a three-dimensional looking chessboard on your paper. Now's the time that you're going to start doing all the little details and your theme of your chess. What I do not do is go ahead and color in every other square, because you're going to have to put the pieces on there. The pieces need to go on before you start coloring it in. But if it makes you feel better, you can just put a little X for the dark section so you know which ones are going to be dark and which ones are going to be light. When you do the actual chess pieces, they're going to go straight up and they're not going to lean unless you wanted it to be fallen over. But a lot of people make this mistake and they will draw a chess piece because they believe that it needs to fit within one section of the square. It does not. That's not how to make it look realistic. What you need to do is draw them straight up and down. And you can see that mine are going through several pieces, and that is okay. That's what's going to make it look three-dimensional when we're done. Okay, I'm going to make just a pawn for this one. And you would erase all of the pieces in there. So you can see it's gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different checkers board of your chessboard. And that's what you want, because you want it to look like it's standing up. All right, for this drawing, your chess pieces don't have to be the original chessboard pieces. You can add what you like. So say you're having a theme that is like an underwater theme. You can start your chess pieces like you normally would, but they can be pretty much anything that you want. So I'm going to say that I want to do a seahorse as a chess piece for mine. So again, I started with like a base that's kind of similar to the chessboard, and then I'm just going to add the seahorse on top of that. And you can do that pretty much with anything that you want to create. This is your imaginary chessboard, your world that you're living in. So you can be as creative as you want with so this is how you create a three-dimensional chessboard and the pieces that sit on it. The next thing that you're going to do is work on all the details and then shading to make this look more three-dimensional.